tell you about that night.
I know this is sort of more of a YA property, and can you guys talk about bringing that to life and the choice to do that?
I mean, I think we, Jeph and I originally, and then when we brought Gina in, we always talked about kind of doing a Sundance coming-of-age story in the Marvel Universe. And we're kind of excited to bring Gina's look and feel to the Marvel family and kind of create a new, something that kind of reflects the uncertainty of growing up in America today.
And New Orleans is definitely a character, at least in the first episodes that I've seen. Can you guys talk about the choice to do it there and not in Hell's Kitchen?
Well, all the Marvel shows that we do, the city always plays a character in what we're doing. I think as Joe so eloquently put it, they have an awful lot of heroes running around New York at the moment. But when we started talking about it, the idea of a city that is defiant, that has to continue to grow and change and is continually being torn down and brought back up again seemed like a really good metaphor for what we're doing. And then Gina just made it look like the coolest thing on earth. So
it's exciting to be able to shoot in the place that the show is set and be able to really utilize the incredible look and feel and life of New Orleans, not only just the architecture and the look of it, but also the people. I mean, we really pulled from people from New Orleans, and it just adds to making it a character.
And can you talk a little bit about the experience of shooting down there? Because it's such a cool city.
Oh, it is great, and it's interesting. I don't know what it was, a day that we needed it to rain, it actually rained.
That was the greatest thing that ever happened in my career. We wrote rain and it became rain, yeah.
And yeah, didn't have to deal with towers. Yeah, again, just the look of it and the fact that we could pull from this incredible architecture and the history of it as well, and it just spoke to the story that Joe was telling.
Yeah, we kept saying it's the story of the city that refuses to die, and Cloak and Dagger feel like those kind of heroes, the kind of get down and dirty heroes that city needs.
And can you guys tell us a little bit about adapting this from the comics, which are, a little bit different than the show?
Well, that began at the very beginning. We've always felt at Marvel that if all you're going to do is bring the comic book to life, then it's really in many ways unfair to the comic, and it's unfair to what we're going to do. So that when Joe and I first started talking about where we were going to set it and what their origins were going to be, all those things were sort of in play. But what's really important to us is that we capture the spirit of who the characters are. And that was something that he grasped so easily. So from there on, everything else sort of is cream cheese.
And tell us a little bit about finding your two leads.
Super easy. No. We're, all three of us here are kind of perfectionists in different ways. So we had seen a lot of really talented people, but we hadn't found our Tandy and Tyrone until
about an hour before we started
shooting.
Kind
of an hour before shooting. But we eventually got Olivia and Aubrey. We shook all the trees and we found these two and we put them in a room. And individually they were fantastic. And then Gina did this crazy thing where she took a scene from the script that they hadn't auditioned with and just worked with them for a little and had them improv, and I imagine waved a magic wand. And the minute they started talking to each other, we got those Spider-Man goosebumps that, it was just kind of amazing. We kind of all knew.
Yeah, Jeph said the best thing, which was, I want to watch them all day. And that really was it. We didn't want the improv to end, and they felt it too. You could sense a connection. You could sense them already pulling for each other and supporting each other, and you don't always get that. And when you start with that crackle, then it's just our job to just build on it, and that's absolutely what we did with the chemistry.
And they're very different actors. Olivia is someone who's been in the business since she was a toddler, and continues to work in the business. And Aubrey is somebody, this is really his first big role, certainly his first title role. And so being able to see his, I think shy is kind of a word, and her confidence meet together, and how that worked in terms of what Joe had created on the page. You could see the chemistry almost immediately between the two of them.
And before we wrap, can you tell us a little bit about how this fits in with the larger Marvel universe?
You're just trying to get me in trouble and say it's all connected. Look, our feeling was that what we wanted to do was tell stories about young heroes, You know, so many of the Marvel heroes are grown people who have jobs, know what they're doing with their lives. And we wanted to tell a story about two young people who haven't figured anything out. Or if they figured it out, they probably figured it out badly. And so we take that, we add to it the idea of they're now given a gift or a burden, depending upon how you see your powers, and the metaphor of what it's like for young people starting out in this world. And particularly right now, where we're seeing so many young people who are getting involved socially, economically, politically, to have heroes that they can immediately identify with was something that was very important to us.